So this is another ClearStream system. This is an all-in-one system, so it's an all-in-one concrete system. They made systems like this also in fiberglass. I'm not sure if they still make an all-in-one fiberglass. They're very buoyant, so in our area that's not a good thing, because rain comes, somebody cleans out, they'll pop out of the ground. So their system is set up a little bit differently than most of the all-in-ones, and I would say all the all-in-ones. Their trash tank, it comes in here, and then they have the pipe is actually over here, and it goes out and it goes into this tank, and your aerobic chamber's at the end. So that's something you'll want to be mindful of. All your on your ClearStreams and all systems, there should be a placard, and it's riveted in there, and I'll tell you the model number. So that's one way. A lot of people are like, I have an aerobic system. What type? One of the ways to find that out is there'll be something that is riveted into the top, and that'll tell you the manufacturer's name, or it'll be on the control panel. So moving on, trash tank here, water comes in here, goes into the aerobic chamber. I don't know if they have to retest for this. I'm not sure on the NSF or Gulf Coast testing procedures, but one of the things is these are pretty much the same diameter. Everything's the same dimensions. So if one passed with the same dimensions, they try to make these dimensions very, very similar, if not the same. And they'd probably keep them the same because it worked before. It's going to work again. Why change them? So the aerobic chamber capacity, all that will be the same. You can see that the water goes in here, and then this is the clarified area. Same type of setup with the diffuser. You have the diffuser going down and up underneath. You have a baffle in here. There's a little float switch. You can't see it, but it's in there, and that's your alarm float. So if the water level gets too high in this, some areas require you have two alarm floats, one in the pump chamber and one in the aerobic chamber. In case one fails, you have a backup. So there is an alarm float in here, and that is your aerobic chamber. And then what you have is your pump chamber. So the pump chamber on this, you see a little bottom suction pump. You got your on float here. You have your alarm float up here, and you have your chlorinator as well. So the chlorinator on this is, and then you have your pump. So then your pump's going out to your field. You can tell not all-in-ones, and this just doesn't go for ClearStream. This is for all systems. Not all of them will have a trash tank lid, but generally you'll have, you open this. And on ClearStreams, I think 90% of the time, I think they're all set up like this. Trash tank, aerobic system, pump tanks in the middle. So it's different from others. Others are trash tank, aerobic system, pump tank. Reason they did that is because they're cone and they rounded the walls. So they saved a little bit of room, which is good because they can carry more systems. So it was actually a smart decision with rounding the walls on the outside where most people's are square, because it saves them space. It probably saved them a little bit of weight. These are really heavy going down the road. You're talking, 20 to 24,000 pounds. Plus you got a crane. So there's some weight limitations in order to get more systems on the truck. That was smarter on their end. It kind of helps them shorten it and saves a little bit of weight. So, and then you have your bottom suction pump that's in there. So that's a ClearStream. These are really easy to install. Guys dig one hole. They make sure this is level. The ground is level. Truck comes out with a big crane, lifts this whole unit up. This pipe's not in there, obviously. These pipes aren't connected. Drops it in the ground. They backfill it, pack it down, and they're done. Some systems, new installers, you'll see sometimes what happens is they're afraid of hitting the tank and they won't pack this last part, and a moat will, I call it a moat because you have a ring of water around it because they didn't pack it all in. You can fill that in, make this level. ClearStream now also has tough tight lids on their system. Some of the older ones, they'll have a black like poly connection riser. They've moved away from that, I think, in the most part, to use tough tights. So you can add or subtract if you have to add more cover to it because of the mode effect, and you get that on a lot of systems. You can always just add risers to it, so it's not a big deal. So they're really easy. They're pretty easy to maintain, look at. You know what you got, and then you just go from there. So they're all set up to pretty much the same. That's a ClearStream All-in-One. If you guys have questions or comments, or you guys want more information or more videos or a different video, with questions that you have. Feel free to ask, and we'll see what we can do for you. Remember to like and subscribe. Adam with Wholesale Septic Supply.